Hi, everybody. Welcome, namaste, and welcome to Kapha season. So, in Ayurveda, Kapha is one of the three bioenergies found in nature. It governs late winter and spring. And really, anytime that we have weather that's kind of cloudy and heavy and where there's a lot of precipitation, that is very kapha weather. So kapha is a combination of the earth and water elements. And what do we get when we mix earth and water together? We get mud. So it is mud season. And if you live in an area where you have kind of more of a distinct winter and spring, like I do, um, it's pretty evident that kapha is dominant in the environment. It just feels a little bit heavier. It is very muddy. There's often a lot of rain and cloudiness. So it's pretty normal for a lot of us, particularly if we've been mindful about staying kind of balanced, where we'll start to feel this renewed sense of inspiration and a desire to lighten up, to bring in more heat, more spice. Um, However, it's really common for many of us as well to feel the opposite, to feel heavy and lethargic and unmotivated and kind of slow and sluggish. And that is because kapha has the qualities of being cool, wet, or damp, um, and heavy and slow. And so when we accumulate too many of those qualities in our tissues, and it's pretty normal for us to have accumulated some kapha in our system by the end of winter. But if we accumulate too much of that, then we start to take on those kaphic qualities. Now, in the body, that can look like sluggish digestion and metabolism. It can look like water retention, congestion, lethargy. In the mind, it looks like dullness or cloudiness, a lack of motivation and inspiration. Now, of course, Ayurveda teaches us that like increases like and opposites balance. So if we can anticipate, if we know ahead of time that it's very likely that we will start to accumulate kapha in our systems during this time, we can be a little bit more proactive in balancing those cool, wet, heavy, slow qualities with a little bit more lightness and sharpness, dryness, and heat. So in our diet, that looks like incorporating more of the bitter, pungent, and astringent tastes. So that looks like light cooked grains with steamed vegetables or vegetable soups, really emphasizing those bitter greens, and maybe vegetables from the cabbage family, along with like your astringent vegetables like asparagus. I mean, we can really look at what is more bioavailable or what's becoming more bioavailable in our environment because nature provides exactly what we need to find balance. Um, yeah, that also looks like maybe more of those pungent foods, garlic, black pepper. So just lightening things up a little bit, less oil, less heaviness, or kind of vegetables that contain a lot of moisture, like zucchini and sweet potato and things like that, that just are a little bit heavier, denser, more moist. And lightening things up, incorporating things that are a little bit more drying. But we also want to be mindful about because kapha has that cool quality, we don't necessarily want to be eating a lot of raw vegetables again, lightly steamed, lightly water sauteed, something like that is really helpful. In our yoga practice, that looks like a more stimulating practice. Um, we might pick up the pace of our practice a little bit more or hold some of those more challenging postures, like the standing postures, a little bit longer. It's a really good time of the year to focus on chest openers, back bends, twists, really opening up the lungs, opening up the sinuses. So breath work that helps to do that, that maybe incorporates a little bit more fire into the practice. And so you can expect these kapha balancing classes on this platform to be a little bit more challenging, to be a little spicier, um, to be more invigorating and rejuvenating. Now, of course, it's important to always honor your inner climate first and foremost, your current state of being, what is known in Ayurveda as your Vikriti. So if you already have a lot of fire in your system, if you have a lot of heat, you get hot very easily, you have a lot of kind of acid reflux, things like that. If you're kind of quick to anger, more easily agitated, these are not going to be balancing classes for you. So it's really important that we always honor our current state, regardless of what's going on in our environment. And it's also important to remember that you can do this class any time of the year. So maybe you're joining me during late winter and spring, or maybe it's some other time of the year where you're just feeling a little bit dull and lethargic and heavy. And these classes can just be, again, invigorating and rejuvenating. So I hope you'll join me for these classes. As always, if you have any feedback, any requests for future content, please leave a comment below. I would really be so grateful if you could like and subscribe to this channel, and like these videos and share them with anyone that you feel might benefit from them. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful day.